Welcome to Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, the #1 podcast and resource for Black entrepreneurs. I'm your host, Jay Jones, and Black Entrepreneur Blueprint was created specifically to educate and inspire Black entrepreneurs to launch, build, and grow successful, sustainable businesses. Join us as we help build an economic power base in the worldwide Black community by building and supporting Black-owned businesses. If you're currently an entrepreneur or want to be an entrepreneur, you're invited to join us each and every week here at Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. Welcome to the BEB family and get ready to elevate your entrepreneur IQ. Welcome to the Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, episode number 527. I'm your host, Jay Jones, and today we have another outstanding and informative show in store for you. Today's show topic is titled, The 3 Missing Essential Elements That Will Transform Your Business and Your Life. The 3 missing essential elements that will transform your business and your life. Now, we know as entrepreneurs, guys, it's tough to be super successful. And on today's show, I'm going to reveal the critical components, 3 of them, that many entrepreneurs overlook that can actually propel your business and your life to unprecedented heights. Now, before we get to today's show content, I just want to share a few things with the Black Entrepreneur Blueprint family. First and foremost, I want to welcome all first-time listeners to Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. Welcome to the BEB family. Please stick around until the end of today's broadcast, and I'm going to share all my social media contact information and resource links, such as the link to the new website, blackentrepreneurBlueprint.com. Now, the website has been revised and revamped, and please make sure you take advantage of it because we have all types of resources to help you elevate your entrepreneur IQ. Click the Learn tab, and then you'll see the drop down, and there are all types of free resources about scaling your business, marketing, e-commerce, entrepreneurship. Everything is designed to elevate your entrepreneur IQ. So make sure you go to and utilize blackentrepreneurBlueprint.com. Now, let's get ready for today's show content. So today we're going to talk about the 3 missing essential elements that will transform your business and your life. So on today's show, guys, I'm going to give you 3 essential elements that most ultra successful businesses have that many failing or unsuccessful businesses don't have. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to discuss and dissect these essential elements, and I'm going to show you how you can implement them in your business today. Now, what I'm about to tell you is I'm not saying that you can't be successful without these 3 elements, but if you do have them in your business, I guarantee that your entrepreneurial journey will be much smoother and you'll be aligned for success. And that's a key word we're going to come back to, alignment, or being aligned with your business. Now, let's start out with essential element number 1. You love what you do. Sounds kind of simple, but it's true. You love what you do. Many people actually chase the money and not the purpose. They're chasing paper and not purpose. And when you can align your business with something that you love, it allows you to persevere when things get tough because you enjoy what you're actually doing. So as a serial entrepreneur for over 25 years and a business coach, guys, I've seen it time and time again where people are chasing the paper versus chasing their purpose. They're doing something for the money and they're not doing something that they love. And I understand sometimes it's a money grab. You know, you have low hanging fruit and you decide, guess what? I can make this money. Let me go ahead and just do this, start this business or provide this service, and I'm going to go grab that paper. Understood? Get it. But what I'm telling you is, guys, that only lasts a certain period of time. As you continue on your entrepreneurial journey, it can become a drag. Now, you probably, a lot of people, if I were in a room with you guys right now, and I asked you to raise your hand, and there were 100 people in the room, and I said, how many people actually don't like the business that they created? I guarantee you over 50% will say that they have. And many times we create this monster that's not really aligned with what we want to do or with what we love to do. Okay, so you have to understand one of the essential elements, guys, is loving what you do. Now, as an entrepreneur, we have many different facets that we have to deal with. And everything we do as an entrepreneur, we're not going to love, right? But if you can eliminate those things and either pass them off to somebody else or minimize them or even make it easier by using technology, that's great. But if you love what you do, guys, you're going to persevere when things get tough. Now, here's a real life example. When you have a business that you're just chasing the paper and not your purpose, when things get hard, what do people tend to do? What does human nature say? You know what? I'm tired of this. Let's look for a path of least resistance. So what happens is when you're doing something just for the money, a lot of times when it gets hard, you're going to leave that and then you're going to have to jump to something else. That doesn't work. You're going to jump to another business opportunity or whatever. And if you're tired of doing that, guys, essential element number one is you want to love what you do. So, for example, with me, I love helping entrepreneurs become successful. And I do this, number one, through the podcast and also through my private coaching. It fulfills me because I'm helping people move from A to B and I'm helping them live their dream. So I'll do this for free. Actually, the podcast, obviously, I didn't make any money from the podcast for about 2 to 3 years because I didn't do it to make money. I did it because I loved it. I wanted to share my experiences with the BEB family, positive and negative, because if you've listened to the show for any period of time, I've talked about this numerous amounts of times. I've almost lost it all twice, but I was blessed to be able to come back and build 2 separate multi-million-dollar businesses after each potential loss. So do what you love. So you want to be able to love what you do. So if you can find a way to monetize that, that's the beauty about entrepreneurship. And I'm not saying, guys, that you can't make money doing something that you don't love. I've been there, done that. Now, for me personally, I enjoy the business of building businesses. So when I start a new business, I love doing that. Oh man, how am I going to get some traction here? How am I going to get into this market? What is it going to take? So I enjoy the business of building businesses. But number one, I always want to focus on and help my people, number one. So like I said, I love helping entrepreneurs become successful by doing private coaching, by the podcast, by all the ecosystem with Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, be it the online courses, the books, the website. Everything about the ecosystem is to help elevate your entrepreneur IQ and make you into a better entrepreneur. So that's essential element number one. You love what you do. And most businesses don't have that element. Most entrepreneurs don't necessarily love what they do. So you have to understand this is what takes you or allows you to transform your business and your life. And I talked about the word alignment, and we're going to talk more about that later on in today's episode. So essential element number one, you love what you do. Before I move to element number two, you want to identify the things that you love to do, guys. Keep it super simple. You may love to cook. You may like writing. You may like starting businesses. You may like playing pickleball. So don't discriminate when you start writing down the things that you love to do. We're going to put this all together and get the monetization out of it. Okay, so what you want to do is identify the things that you love to do, things that you would do for free. Okay, so that's essential element number one. You love what you do. Essential element number two, you're good at what you do. All right, loving something doesn't mean that you're good at it, right? So I love to sing. I think I sound pretty good in the shower, right? But if you ask my wife, she's going to tell you something else. I love to do it, right? But I'm not good at it. So number two, essential element number two, you're good at what you do. Okay, so for example, if you're a CPA and my CPA, he loves doing taxes and he's good at what he does. Okay, so he loves doing taxes and he's good at what he does. So you need to have some proficiency to be able to help other people out in your business. So if you have a business that you're not providing a quality product or service, guess what? You're not going to make any money, right? It's just that simple. So you have to have or have a propensity to be good at what you do. So say you're a physical trainer, right? And you come in and you're trying to train people and you're 5'5", 272 pounds, right? And you're a dude and you're talking about physical fitness. You can't even get through the first set of exercises, right? So you may love physical fitness, but are you good at what you do? Do you fit the part? Do you have the experience? Do you have the qualifications? Are you certified, verified, bona fide? All right. You're good at what you do. And what you have to watch out for today, guys, there's all kind of what I call gurus out here trying to tell you or teach you how to do certain things, selling courses, all types of stuff. And they're really not certified or verified or bona fide. You got cats, the cool thing now is coming out the mud. I learned this in jail. I did that. And there's nothing wrong with that. But what I'm saying is when it comes to certain types of industries and businesses, you need to have certifications. There's a reason why you have to be certified to be a real estate agent. There's a reason why you have to be certified to be a CPA, certified public accountant. There's a reason why you have to be certified to be a loan officer. Okay. There's certain things that you have to go through, that certain criteria that you have to meet in order to be qualified to teach something or to show people something. So you can be good at what you do. And if it doesn't have a certification behind it, then you need to have some proof. Hey, these are people that I've helped. This is what I've done in my own personal life, whatever it needs to be. But you need to be good at what you do. Loving something doesn't mean you're good at something. And I remember a conversation I had with my mom years ago. One of my good friends, nicest guy around, but he wasn't that sharp with the books, right? Good common sense, but he wasn't sharp with the books. And he knew it and his parents knew it. And his mom was talking to my mom, and my buddy loved animals. And she said to my mom, I think, I'm not going to call his name out because I hope he ain't listening, but I think, such and such, I told him he'd be a great veterinarian. And my mom said, I don't mean to sound rude, but do you think he'll have the capacity in terms of going to school, getting his vet degree and all of that? Now, he loved dogs and he loved animals, but guess what? He wasn't going to have that capacity to be a veterinarian. Now, he could be a dog trainer or something else, but you have to understand you have to be good at what you do. Just because you love something doesn't mean you're good at it, right? As I gave you the example of me singing in the shower. I think I sound real good, right? Especially when the water's on, because it drowns out my voice, right? So we're talking about the 3 missing essential elements that will transform your business and your life. Element number 1, you love what you do. Essential element number 2, you're good at what you do. All right. So you want to identify your gifts. What are your gifts? My buddy didn't have the gift of book study in terms of the capacity to get a veterinary degree. Right? That's just the truth. I hear people tell kids all the time, you can be whatever you want to be. I never told my kids that because it's not true. You may want to be a pro basketball player, right? Guess what? You're not that good. And the chances are you're not going to make it. So I'm not going to say don't go after your dream. But guess what? You can't do everything that you want to do. You can't be whatever you want to be. It's just not how the world works. But what you can do is identify your gifts. And I've had this conversation with both of my daughters before about your gifts. Your gifts are totally separate than everybody else's gifts, right? So don't look at what your friends are doing, your peers or somebody else. They're on their own specific path. They have their own journey that they have to walk. You have your own journey. So you want to identify your gifts. The first thing we talked about was identifying the things that you love to do, things that you love. The second thing is identify your gifts. Everybody has different gifts. So my oldest daughter, tremendous communicator. She can write super well, and she has a whole bunch of other talents. Now, when it comes to athletics, she was never one of the most physically gifted, but the effort that she put into it allowed her to play at a higher level. My younger daughter has different talents. She's a little more creative. She's a little more outgoing. Well, I'm not going to say outgoing, but a little more vivacious. She's dabbling right now in acting, and it's something that she wants to do. So you have to identify your gifts, and everybody has different gifts. So if you're listening to this, you never live by what another man, and when I say man, I mean man or woman, what another man's or woman's path is. You go and you blaze your own trail based on what you love to do and what you're good at, what your gifts are. Okay? So understand that. And we're talking about the 3 missing essential elements that will transform your business and your life. And I'm going to give you another real life story towards the end of today's segment. Now, essential element number 3, people are willing to pay you for what you do. So the question is, do people value your product or service to the point that they'll pay you a fair price for it? Okay. I mentioned my buddy who's a CPA. Number 1, he loves to do taxes. Number 2, he's good at it. And number 3, people are willing to pay him for what he does. So as we talked over, I think it was last weekend, he was like, man, I love what I do. I talked to another good friend of mine, family member, basically a damn near family member. And I was asking her, I was like, yo, when you going to retire? And she was like, you know what? I love what I do so much, I don't even think about retiring. She said, I just enjoy everything that I do. And she's in the HR field. And so being in that position, guys, is something that will transform your business and your life. So when we talk about essential element number 3, that people are willing to pay you for what you do, once again, are they going to pay you a fair price? And when it comes to actually people paying you, a lot of times you got to ask yourself, are you solving a problem for them? Okay. People pay to get their problem solved. Are you making them feel better? Right. So if you're a therapist or whatever, and you're helping people work through traumatic events that were in their lives. All right. What are they paying you for? And so the beauty of this is, guys, people always ask me, is it better to follow your passion or to solve a problem? And to me, it's the intermingling of both. You find something that you're passionate about and you help people solve a problem in that area. For example, we're talking about essential element number 1. You love what you do. Essential element number 2, you're good at what you do. Essential element number 3, people are willing to pay you for what you do. For example, with me, Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, the podcast, the ecosystem, say the online courses. I love what I do, helping my people move their business from point A to B. Essential element number 2, I'm good at what I do because I'm a serial entrepreneur myself for 25 plus years, and I'm able to lend my experiences, positive and negative, to my coaching students to help them alleviate some of the bumps that I went through as an entrepreneur. And element number 4, people are willing to pay me for what I do. My individual coaching is $500 an hour, unless you go on a longer plan and we create a plan where it's a little bit less expensive, but people are willing to pay me for what I do. Now, one of the beauties of that individual coaching I have is I kind of pared that down because I'm trying to get away from the dollars for hours type component. And so right now I only take 4 to 5 coaching clients each quarter. And so before I was taking 7, 8, 10, and it just got to the point where I couldn't handle it. But I hit all 3 essential elements. I love what I did. I was good at what I do, and people are willing to pay me for what I do. So when you put all of that together, guys, that's called alignment. And I mentioned that earlier before, alignment. You want to be aligned with how you're built, Remember, identify the things that you love to do, identify your gifts, and then you got to find out and put it together what people are going to pay you for. And it's funny because I have this written on my desk. I have a big placard. It says, do something that you love, do something you're good at, do something people will pay you for. And when you put all of those together, it's just like Pinpoint and Monetize Your Genius, my online course. You put all of that together, guys. When you're living in that genius, or you're living like this with these three essential elements in your business, then this is something, guys, that'll be able to transform your business and your life. I'm telling you, and we're going to get more in depth about that in a minute. Now, before we get into the last segment of the show, guys, let me share all my social media contact information and resource links. So I mentioned at the top of the show, guys, we revamped and revised the website. We have all types of free content on there. Go to blackentrepreneurblueprint.com, hit the Learn tab, and we have all types of resources about e-commerce, marketing, scaling your business, mindset, everything you need to elevate your entrepreneur IQ. So go to blackentrepreneurblueprint.com. Now, if you want to get in contact with me, anything long, family, hit me on my email, jjones@blackentrepreneurblueprint.com. That's JAYJONES@blackentrepreneurblueprint.com. Facebook, Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. Instagram, I have 2 IG accounts, guys. The first one is J Jones for real, JAYJONES, the number 4, REAL. Second one is blackentrepreneurblueprint.com. Twitter, you can hit me at jjones001, JAYJONES001. LinkedIn, connect with me there. Just type in J Jones Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, connect with me there. YouTube, make sure you go to the YouTube channel and subscribe, guys. We have additional content on YouTube that is not on the show. Just go to YouTube and type in Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, hit that subscribe button, and make sure that you get all of the new content that comes out. Also, for you first-time listeners, we drop a new episode every Monday morning, 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on all your major podcast platforms and YouTube. So make sure you hit that subscribe button wherever you're listening to this or watching this so you'll get notified when the new episodes drop. Now, let's get back to the last segment of the show. And today we're talking about the 3 missing essential elements that will transform your business and your life. So I had a conversation with my youngest daughter a couple weeks ago. She's doing great in corporate America. She's making, great money. She's out in Chicago. She's enjoying life. But she said to me, she said, "Dad, is this all there is to life? Going to work every day and coming home?" And I said, "Well, that's a part of it." I said, "It seems like you don't feel fulfilled." And she was like, "Dad, I don't think I can do this the rest of my life." And I said, "That's cool." I said, "You're young." And I said, a lot of times what happens is that you're going to find what you want to do by doing things that you don't want to do. Okay. When you go to a job and you realize that, I don't like this about this job, maybe I'll find another job that's more suitable to me or more aligned with me. So here's part of a text message that I sent to her after our conversation. And I said, "Kiddo, the universe will make way for your gifts. And once you know and understand them, your path will be lit for your journey. Identify your gifts." And once again, once you have that identification of your gifts, you're on the way, guys, to being able to live in your genius. Remember, essential element number 1, you love what you do. Essential element number 2, you're good at what you do. And essential element number 3, people are willing to pay for what you do. Here's something else that I sent to my daughter, and I didn't write this, but I found this. And it says, "The meaning of life is to find your gift. The purpose of life is to give it away." It means in life, when we know or understand what we're best at doing, then we give it away. Okay. And that's something that once you can get to that point, guys, that's a life changer, game changer for your business and your life. And that's what we're talking about today. The 3 missing essential elements that will transform your business and your life. In summary, guys, do something you love, do something you're good at, and do something people will pay you for. And I promise you, your business and your life will transform. You're working in alignment, guys. You're not fighting nature. You're not fighting your natural or innate self. You're harvesting that natural self in nature, and you're monetizing it. And it's just like pinpoint and monetize your genius. I'm really just rewording it. Your genius is the intersection of your passion and your talent. The problem is most people don't know how to monetize it. So if you're interested in monetizing it, make sure you go to the website blackentrepreneurBlueprint.com. You can hit pinpoint and monetize your genius, which is one of our most popular online workshops, and you can actually get to the point where you can transform your business or your life. There are tons of entrepreneurs out here that are making money, but the question is, are you being fulfilled while you're making that money? Or are you making money in spite of the lack of fulfillment? So I've done it both ways, guys. Sometimes you got to go grab that paper and then you try to figure out the rest. But after a while, when you can align everything up with your nature, that's when you're working at your maximum efficiency. That's when you're working at your best. That's when you wake up in the morning ready to go and get at it. Go to your office, go start your work. How many of you guys have gone to a business that you created and you couldn't stand it? I'm raising my hand because I've created several businesses that I ended up detesting. And that's not a good thing. You get in business to make money and be fulfilled. And in addition to that, obviously, you're serving people. Life is about service. How do you serve? Everybody has their own way to serve. And once again, do something that you love, do something that you're good at, and do something people will pay you for. And I promise you, you're going to transform your business and your life. Now, I say this each and every week, guys, because it's true. We get more and more downloads because of you, the BEB family. I appreciate you guys so much. Please continue to spread the word about the podcast, the ecosystem, the online courses, the books. Everything is designed to help you elevate your entrepreneur IQ. Remember, it's not about me. It's not about you. It's about us. It's about building an economic power base in the worldwide Black community by building and supporting Black-owned businesses. Love you guys. See you same time next week. Peace.